Hi there, and welcome. If you are a high achiever, an entrepreneur, an executive, or a go-getter, you already know stress comes with the territory. Deadlines, business growth, team management, constant decision making, it's non-stop. But here's the truth. Stress isn't just about feeling overwhelmed. Stress literally rewires your biology. It raises your blood pressure, accelerates aging, and silently steals years off of your life. In this session, we will dive deep into the hidden connection between stress, blood pressure, and longevity. And more importantly, what you can do to master it so you can keep performing at your best for decades to come. Now, let's zoom out for a moment. Stress isn't the enemy. In fact, short bursts of stress, what we call acute stress, are life savings. It's what kept our ancestors alive when they were being chased by predators. Here's how it works. The brain detects a threat, instantly signals the adrenal glands, and boom, two powerful hormones flood the system, the cortisols and the adrenalines. These hormones do three big things. They speed up your heart rate, they tighten your blood vessels, and they push blood pressure up so you can move fast, fight, or flee. Now, that's great if you are sprinting away from lions, but here's where the entrepreneurial twist comes in. You are not running from lions. You are running businesses. You are chasing growth targets. You are handling client fires, investor calls, and deadlines. The body doesn't know the difference between predator and a board meeting. The stress response is the same. And unlike a quick sprint where the stress ends once you're safe, entrepreneurship keeps you in survival mode 24/7. The stress doesn't shut off. Think of it like leaving a car engine running at max RPM all day. At first, it works fine, but keep it revved too long, parts wear out, system fails. That's what happens with chronic stress. When cortisols and adrenaline stay elevated for too long, your blood pressure stays higher than it should. And here's the longevity kicker. High blood pressure is one of the fastest ways to accelerate biological aging. Let me show you the difference. Temporary stress, blood pressure spikes, then returns to normal, no harm done. But in chronic stress, blood pressure stays elevated, damaging arteries, thickening the heart muscles, and silently wearing down your system. Over years, this compounds into what researchers call hypertension, which doubles your risk of heart attack, triples risk of stroke, and accelerates cognitive decline. Here's the real cost of entrepreneurship. Chronic stress doesn't just steal your peace of mind, it steals years off of your life. Study shows that unmanaged stress and high blood pressure can shave 7 to 10 years of lifespan. Not only that, it reduces health span, those vibrant years where you're sharp, energetic, and fully capable of leading at your peak. Think about it. You build your business to give you freedom, impact, and legacy. But if stress silently accelerates aging, you're trading decades of quality life for short-term win. So stress isn't about white knuckling through another deal or late night. It's about knowing the line between productive pressure and destructive chronic stress. So let's zoom in on why stress becomes so dangerous, its direct impact on blood pressure, and how that shapes your longevity. Here's what the science shows. Entrepreneurs, executives, and other high achievers, people who thrive under pressure, are significantly more likely to develop hypertension or chronically high blood pressure. Now, why does this matter for your lifespan? Because hypertension isn't just a medical term. It's a longevity accelerator in reverse. It fast forwards the clock on your body. Hypertension is called the silent killer, and it earns that name because you don't feel it the way you feel a headache or an exhaustion. You can walk around every day living and believing, thinking you're fine, but underneath the surface, damage is happening 24/7. It's straining your arteries, making them stiff and brittle, the perfect setup for heart attack. It's quietly wearing down your brain, increasing the risk of micro damage that accelerates memory decline and brain fog. It punishes your kidneys, the filters that regulate your fluid and detox system. And at the cellular level, it even flips switches on your longevity genes, literally speeding up the rate at which your body ages. So now let's connect this to your reality as an entrepreneur. High achievers live in a pressure cooker. The deadlines, the decisions, the constant responsibility of growth, and what often comes with it, unhealthy coping mechanisms, late nights, poor sleeps, too much caffeine, skipped workouts, quick fast food fixes, or unwinding with a drink. When you mix constant stress with elevated blood pressure, the cost is enormous. Energy crashes and fatigue, brain fog when you need clarity the most, a body that looks fine on the outside but is aging rapidly on the inside. The truth is simple. Stress combined with high blood pressure isn't just uncomfortable, it's a direct hit to your health span. Those years where you are at your sharpest, strongest, and most capable. One large study found that people with uncontrolled high blood pressure in midlife live on average 5 years less than their peers. But the bigger problem is quality of life. Instead of enjoying decades of high energy, mental clarity, and vitality, those years are often replaced with fatigue, disease, and decline. Here's the key. Stress management and blood pressure control aren't just about avoiding illness, they're about protecting your long-term competitive edge. Because the entrepreneurs who master stress and keep blood pressure in check don't just live longer, they perform longer, they stay sharper, more resilient, and more capable than the ones who burn out early. That's the longevity advantage, and it's one you can control. Stress doesn't just impact blood pressure, it accelerates biological aging. Cortisol keeps your blood vessel tight, making your arteries stiffer. Stress hormones damage the endothelium, the protective lining inside your arteries. Inflammation skyrockets, fueling atherosclerosis, and at the cellular level, your telomeres, those protective caps on DNA, shorten faster. So, translation, chronic stress literally makes your body older than it should be. That's why stressed entrepreneurs often feel worn out in their 40s and 50s, even though they're still ambitious. As a high performer, you are especially vulnerable. You might tell yourself, I can handle stress. I am built for it. And mentally, that may be true, but biologically, it's a different story. Your arteries don't care how resilient your mindset is. Your brain doesn't care how disciplined you are. And your heart doesn't care how successful your business is. Stress still raises blood pressure, and blood pressure still damages the body, whether you notice it or not. Entrepreneurs often cope with the stress in ways that make blood pressure worse, which is late nights telling yourself sleep is optional. Too much caffeine to push through fatigue, grabbing fast food or comfort snacks between calls, skipping workouts because you are too busy, or unwinding with alcohol just to quiet your racing mind. Individually, these might seem small, but together they reinforce stress, elevated blood pressure, and quietly accelerating aging. Now, this is where the trap forms. Stress raises blood pressure, high blood pressure accelerates aging, and aging creates fatigue, brain fog, and slower recovery. And when your energy drops, managing your business becomes even harder, which piles on even more stress. It's a vicious cycle, and most high achievers don't even realize they're in it until they hit a wall, a burnout, a health scare, or a decline in performance that no amount of hustle can fix it. The good news is this trap is breakable. And when you break it, you don't just prevent disease, you unlock longevity as leverage. Because the entrepreneurs who learn to master stress and protect their blood pressure don't just live longer, they perform longer, they stay sharper, they extend the years where their energy, focus, and resilience are at their peak. And that is how longevity becomes your ultimate business strategy. Now, here's the good news. You can reverse this. Stress doesn't have to control your blood pressure, your health, or your future. In fact, when you master stress, you unlock more than health. You gain mastery over your energy, your focus, and your longevity. So let's break it down, the breakthrough that truly works. First, mind-body mastery. Practice like meditation, mindfulness, yoga, deep breathing are not just spiritual exercises, they are biological reprogramming. Studies show they can lower systolic blood pressure by up to 10 points. That's more powerful than some prescription medication. And here's the longevity piece. Lowering blood pressure by just 10 points can cut your risk of heart attack, stroke, and early death dramatically. That's not just stress relief, that's lifespan extension. Second, exercise. It's not just about burning calories or building muscles. Exercise is medicine for your stress response. Every workout trains your nervous system to become more resilient. Instead of spiking under pressure, your heart rate and blood pressure stabilize faster. Think of it as conditioning your body's operating system. So when stress hits, you don't stay in fight or flight mode, you reset quicker. And the long-term payoff, sharper brain function, stronger arteries, and slower biological aging. Third, sleep. This is your nightly blood pressure reset button. When you get sleep, restorative sleep, your stress hormones drop, your blood pressure relaxes, and your blood pressure naturally declines overnight. But entrepreneurs who cut sleep short are literally skipping the one time their body repairs. Chronic sleep debt drives blood pressure higher and accelerates aging at the cellular level. So the takeaway is protect your sleep like it's your most valuable meeting, because it is. Fourth, social connection. This one surprises a lot of people. Loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's a biological stressor. When you are isolated, your stress response runs hotter, your blood pressure runs higher. Over years, this chips away lifespan. Strong relationships, on the other hand, buffer stress, lower blood pressure, and extend life expectancy. Building your support system isn't just feel-good advice, it's a longevity science. And for entrepreneurs who love optimization, there are cutting-edge tools worth exploring. The heart rate variability biofeedback helps you train your nervous system in real time, making your stress response more flexible. Adaptogens like ashwagandha have shown real promise in lowering cortisol and improving blood pressure stability. Even simple wearable that tracks stress and recovery can give you an edge, keeping your philosophy aligned with your performance goals. So here's the big picture. Stress mastery equals life mastery. When you integrate mind-body practice, move your body daily, protect your sleep, and stay connected, you do more than lowering blood pressure. You slow aging, you extend your health span, you give yourself more years and better years to perform at your peak. And that's what longevity really is. Not just adding time to your life, but adding high performance life to your time. Mastering stress isn't just about feeling calmer. Your high performers, it's about creating resilience that translates differently into performance. Because the truth is, when your stress response is resilient, your energy is steadier, your focus is sharper, your recovery is faster, and that edge compounds over years. Stress resilience equals performance resilience. Think of your arteries as your body's superhighways. Chronic stress and high blood pressure damages them, making them stiff and brittle. But when you manage stress, you keep your arteries youthful, which keeps your heart, brain, and entire body performing at their peak. Protect your arteries and you protect your lifespan. Here's the longevity math. Studies show that people who control their blood pressure in midlife add, on average, 5 more years of life. 5 years! That's 1,800 extra days of energy, clarity, and impact. Imagine what you could build, achieve, and experience with that kind of time back. That's the real return on investment of stress mastery. Imagine being 60 or 70 and still out innovating, outperforming, and out creating the competition, not because you worked harder, but because you worked smarter, because you kept your brain, heart, and body young at the cellular level. That is longevity edge. Stress mastery isn't just health advice, it's a business strategy, a strategy that gives you more time, more clarity, and more energy to win, not just today, but for decades to come. So here's the takeaways. Stress and blood pressure are two sides of the same coin. Left unchecked, they silently cut years from your life, but mastered, they become your ultimate longevity weapon. If you want to keep thriving as a high achiever, not just for the next 5 years, but for the next 30, it starts with mastering stress, controlling your blood pressure, and protecting your biology. Remember, master stress, maximize success, and extend your longevity. Thank you.